The mansion with scenic views, the yacht on the water, the $1 million a game bets. Who wouldn't sign up for that? Professional sports betting can offer a tremendous life. You don't have to answer to anyone but your own bet tracker. You can set your own schedule, and the best of the best can build up an impressive portfolio. But do the movies paint the real picture? Today, I'm going to show you a few different kinds of sports betting lifestyles and how they can fit into your life. Hi, I'm Jack from Unabated, where we provide software tools and education to help people find and place sharper bets. Professional gambling has been my primary source of income for over 20 years. It's been a good life, but does it live up to the hype? For a lot of us, the first bet started with a win, or at least we had enough fun sweating the game that we wanted to come back for more. Most bettors right now are casual bettors. They bet with their gut. They listen to parlay of the game advice on a broadcast or take betting advice from popular podcasts. And that's fine, as long as you're honest about what it is you expect or want out of betting. Casual bettors don't think too hard about the bets they're going to make. They might only bet on their favorite teams or players. Oh, and they love lottery plays on huge parlays. It's vibes all the way down. The upside to betting casually is that it demands the least amount of time of any of these lifestyles. But there are some very real downsides, and you need to be honest with yourself if you're content to bet casually. You have to understand that you're going to lose in the long term, and accept that as the cost of your entertainment. But if casual losing betting isn't your idea of fun, and you don't want to stay at that level with most sports bettors, you're on the road to the next lifestyle. Once you're seriously trying to win, sports betting starts to look a little different. For the serious recreational player, it means spending time looking for bets that offer real value. The serious rec might only spend a few hours a week betting, but they treat it like it's a profitable hobby. They enjoy the way sports betting can work like a big, complex logic puzzle, and they're comfortable fitting it into their schedule whenever they want to test their mettle. It's less about chasing the buzz of having action than it is about using logic and discipline to chase profits. This lifestyle demands a little more time than the casual bettor, but the potential for profit usually outweighs the time commitment for anyone who wants to learn how to win. Focusing on props, for instance, is a great option if this is your chosen path. Prop betting doesn't usually demand you stay glued to the screen all day. Once you have a solid set of projections, you can generally bet props on your own time, or at least around key times of the day, like when lineups are finalized in baseball or when injury reports come out in the NBA. Plus, when you're making fewer bets with a smaller bankroll, you'll generally last longer at most books without having to worry about being limited. The bigger constraint is in how much you can earn betting this way. When you look at betting just as a hobby that can pay for itself, you're capped at making modest profits at best. It's not only determined by what you know, but also how much time you're willing and able to devote to learning more. If the time and effort are worth it to you, the next sports betting lifestyle is a great spot for most serious bettors. And that's approaching sports betting as a pure side hustle. The side hustler is confident in their ability to find edges and approaches the game with focus and discipline. They keep a separate bankroll for betting and treat their operation like a business, which it is. Sports betting might still be a fun puzzle to solve, but it's about getting paid and supplementing your income. But it's a lifestyle where you're juggling your regular full-time job with a side gig and then balancing it all with your personal obligations. Depending on how you choose to use your time, it might not be possible to attack all facets of sports betting. You have to pick your lanes. Is a nightly family dinner important in your house? Well, that might mean you're not available to pounce on an NBA line if there's breaking player news at 6:30. Do you have corporate meetings in the middle of the day? Well, there goes a great window to take advantage of line movement around when baseball lineups lock for the day. Or if Sunday is the day you always go to the in-laws, it means live betting football is only an option on Mondays and Thursdays. If that's where you get your edge, you might need to find a new angle, or new in-laws. If you're the kind of person who loves to grind, or you want the higher earning potential along with the stability that you get with your full-time job, this is an excellent spot to be in. Unless, of course, you're too good at it. Then you've got some interesting choices to make. Newly minted professional bettors often come from the ranks of side hustle bettors who earned so much betting that it didn't make sense to keep their day job. We recently talked to one of our members, Steven, who found himself in that position.
Was in the tax accounting world for 6 or 7 years. Sports betting kind of took off as a hobby of mine, and then kind of surpassed that income. As the bankroll gets bigger and bigger, it just accumulates very, very quickly.
I'll drop a link to that interview in the description where you can learn how he did it. It's a great problem to have. If you take the path of a pro bettor, you can set your hours and work really from anywhere with a Wi-Fi signal. No more cubicles, no more meetings, no one and nothing to answer to other than your own bankroll. Except your bankroll is always asking very demanding questions. And your calendar might be free of meetings, but it's got a never-ending sports schedule that doesn't sleep. From early morning East Coast golf to middle of the night Australian tennis. You might not be in a cube farm, but it's tempting to chain yourself to your desk anyway. You may be constantly searching for more positive expected value plays so you can get the volume you need to manifest your edge in actual value. Sports betting will take all the time you give it and still ask for more. Sometimes that means putting in 80-hour work weeks and still losing money because a pitcher pinched a nerve in the first inning or a place kicker pushed a field goal 6 inches wide. It can mean that the game becomes less about the bets you make and more about your ability to get the money down. And if you start working with other people, you may find yourself working more like a middle manager than a sports bettor. It can be a great life if you're built for it. It's both total freedom and total responsibility. If you can handle the stress and the swings, there's almost unlimited upside. But if you get there, maybe just rent the yacht. If you're a dedicated side hustler or an aspiring pro, finding new ways to beat the sports books is always on your mind. Here's a video where I discuss that process.